everybody, my name is Pastor Pascal. Some of you know me as Pastor P. I'm not alone today. I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Anna Lomboa.
Hello everyone, we are so excited to be doing this video today. It's actually our first before and after I do video.
So let's talk about us a little bit.
So our love journey started 15 years ago, and I'm telling you, it's been absolutely amazing. And this year in 2020, we're actually celebrating our 10 years wedding anniversary.
Yeah, 10 years, eh?
It's been amazing, and we have been blessed with two beautiful children, Gabriella and Jaden.
God has been good to us.
Oh yeah.
You know, about 6 years ago, we started organizing relationship gala dinners, where we spoke about how to prepare for marriage and how we spoke about how to keep the fire burning. And these workshops and seminars and gala dinners were very, very successful. And this year we decided, you know, we want to spread the message across our borders to people around the world. And one of the ways to do that is to have this platform.
And that is why this year we actually decided to make it official, to put a name to it, and that's how we came up with Before and After I Do. So this is for those who feel that they're ready to get into marriage. A lot of time people rush to the altar, or they put more effort in preparing the wedding day, but they put less effort and preparation into marriage itself.
Oh yeah.
And it's also for those who are married and they want to maintain a good and healthy, happy marriage and to keep the spark on. And those who are engaged need to know what they're getting themselves into.
Absolutely, babes. You know, marriage is one of the only institutions that will give you a certificate before you actually write the test.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you want a driver's license, you go and do your theory test and practical test. If you pass, then you get a license, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be a lawyer, an engineer, whatever it is in life, you first write the exam and test, and then you get a certificate. But in marriage, you get the certificate and then you are thrown on the deep end and say, well, go and do your practicals. And unfortunately, you've got people who have failed their practicals but are holding on to a certificate.
Well, we want to make sure that nobody fails that exam.
Amen.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, you know what? We get a lot of people in our various counseling sessions and mentorship sessions, people that say, oh, Pastor, how do I know he's the right one for me? How do I know she's the right one for me?
Yeah.
Well, today we're saying let's go back to the beginning, okay? Before we find out if they're the right one for you, I want to ask you a question. Why do you want to get married? So we came up with 7 reasons, wrong reasons to get married, and 7 right reasons to get married. I'm sure there are many more, but we jotted down these 7.
And the first wrong reason why people get married is because of loneliness.
Loneliness.
And a lonely person will remain lonely even in marriage.
Okay.
So loneliness only leads to desperation. And that is why you find someone who's desperate, they just throw themselves in any marriage and end up getting married to the wrong person to try and get rid of loneliness. And the other thing is, being single or being alone is not some kind of a disease.
No, it's not.
And marriage is not a cure.
You know, you can be alone and not be lonely.
Yes, because some people, it's by choice.
It's by choice that they're alone.
They want to be single, and singleness is actually a great time for self-discovery.
Self-discovery.
So that is the time where you need to discover yourself, you need to work on yourself, and also you need to grow closer to God, who is the creator of marriage. You need to be connected to Him. And when you're connected to God, you will not feel lonely. And that is why in John 15:4, He says, remain in me and I will remain in you. So we see here that when you have God in you, then you are not going to be lonely, because He is there to fill that void and that empty space that was there.
Oh, I love that. I love that. The next wrong reasons that I put down is there are people who say, I want someone to complete me because I'm so incomplete. And we say, hold on. hold on. Listen, do not put pressure on another human being to complete you, because they cannot. Before you get married, you need to understand that you will get married to a human being. They will make mistakes. They will disappoint you. It is unfair and unrealistic to expect a human being to fill you up or to add the missing piece in your life.
Because they're not perfect.
So look at this. I've got this illustration that I put together, okay? So now this is Anna, who is 50% full, and she's saying that she is incomplete. So she wants to meet a man who would complete her. So there's Anna who meets Pascal, and Pascal is 100% full. Now, of course, I'm very generous, so I give myself away to my wife, and now I fill her up. She's now 100% full, but I'm still 50% full. So I gave her some, but it left me empty. Now, it goes back to this. You know, and in John 4:14, Jesus says, whoever drinks from the water that I give will never thirst again. Of course, he's talking to this woman who's had multiple partners. And Jesus tells her, even the man you left at home this morning is not even your man. I see there a woman who's been looking for something, but she's looking for, I don't know, maybe love or someone to complete her, or she's lonely, but she's looking for these things in men, and she's been disappointed. And Jesus tells her that, you know what, if you drink from the water that I give, you will never thirst again. So what I'm trying to say is only God can complete you. So I believe that if I come into marriage and I'm full 100%, and my wife comes in full 100%, two wholes make a perfect marriage.
That is why we need to work on ourselves before we get married. Make sure that you are 100% before you can get into marriage.
Absolutely.
Now we're going to look at our next point today. Another wrong reason why people get married is because they think that, oh, they're running out of time because of age. All their friends and family members are getting married and no one will want to marry them. And nobody should actually put pressure on themselves to get married. It is not a race.
It's not a race.
It's not about who's going to get to the altar first. It's not about who's going to get the big diamond rock first. It should be a personal decision.
Absolutely.
And you also find that their family or friends around you that are getting married, you should be happy for them. It's their time and your time will come.
Absolutely.
It only means that God is still preparing and working on that Mr. Right and Mrs. Right, and you just need to be patient.
I totally agree. I've heard of men who say, you know what, I've been told by my parent that I've got a job, I've got a car, I've got a house, so why don't you get married? As though having a car and a house automatically qualifies you for marriage.
It takes much more than that. So that is why we should not allow family and friends to put pressure on us to get married.
Absolutely. The next one, another wrong reason is to be free. It might seem like a joke, but trust me, we've had people who say, I want to get married because I'm tired of living with my mom and dad. I want to be independent. I want to be free. I've got news for you. If you want to live an independent life and be unaccountable, well, you will soon realize that in marriage, for a marriage to succeed and to remain healthy, it requires mutual accountability.
Yep.
I cannot just leave the house and go out without telling my wife. I cannot just decide on anything in our marriage on my own, and she can't do the same. We take decisions together. We take decisions together, whether it is how many children we want, or where I'm going, what kind of house we're going to buy, or what kind of car.
Coming back.
Or what time I'm she'll phone me and say, babes, you said you'll be here at 9. It is already 9:15. Where are you? And by the way, who's that giggling in the background?
Okay, no, that's not me.
So if without mutual accountability, your marriage will not last.
Yes, you need to maintain a healthy marriage, and that requires mutual accountability.
Absolutely.
And our next point, people who get married because of pregnancy.
Oh,
now, if
that's
the
a big
pregnancy was a mistake, now getting married because your partner fell pregnant is another big mistake.
Sure.
Because people feel like, okay, I need to get married as a sign of, responsibility, and you have the elders or parents telling you that it's the right thing to do, you got her pregnant, so you need to get married. But then that marriage is headed for disaster, because there's no love and you're not compatible. Unless, of course, in a case where your partner fell pregnant, but you love each other, you're compatible, and you're both ready to get into marriage, then by all means,
get married.
Go ahead. But you can still take responsibility of a child even if you're not married, if there's no love. Because I say that it is better to raise a child as a single parent in a happy environment than raising a child in a marriage that is broken.
It will obviously affect the child negatively.
Exactly. So
I think that parents or elders or church should not put pressure and say, well, you made her pregnant, you have to marry her. You can be a supportive parent from far if there's no love, rather than trying to make something work that was not meant to be in the first place.
Exactly.
Now, have you heard of people who say, I want to get married to him because, he's got so much money? You also get men who get married to powerful women because of the money. And we say, if money is the one thing that keeps you glued together, when the money fades, when there's no more money, your marriage will also fade away.
Because that's the only thing that was keeping
that keeps you together. So it should not, and families should not encourage and push your daughters or sons and say, oh, well, he comes from a powerful family, or they've got so much money, or he's in government, go get married to him. If there's no love, and you are pushed into something, do not give in to that pressure. We've seen people who had loads of money, and after a while the money fades and the woman packs her bags and she leaves. So we don't encourage to get married because of money. It's definitely not a deciding factor. It shouldn't be, at least.
Now, our last point for today, the last reason why people get married, wrong reason, is because of sex. So these are people who feel like, okay, I want to be free, I want to have sex as much as I can, but they're Christians and they know that it's wrong to do it outside of marriage. So they feel like, let me just get married so that I can be free and have sex as much as I want. But it actually comes down to self-control.
Absolutely.
If you're unable to control yourself when you're single, how are you going to control yourself when you're in marriage? And that is why we see couples that end up cheating on each other. Because they got married just for that, and they can't get enough. There's no self-discipline, and they think that sexual temptation automatically stops when you get married.
Oh no!
It's not a switch that you can just put on or off when you feel like it. It will be there. So that is why, like in Galatians 5:23, self-control is one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit.
Absolutely.
That we definitely need to master, but when we are single.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Well, those are the 7 wrong reasons we put down together. We're not saying that we know it all, but we want to share the little that we've learned of our 15-year journey with the rest of you. Please do follow us on our social media platforms. We have a YouTube page, a YouTube channel, Before and After I Do SA. We are on Instagram and Facebook, Before and After I Do SA. We've also got a WhatsApp number on our Facebook page. If you have any questions, please do send us your questions or your remarks or whatever it is, and we'll try our best to respond to every single one of you guys. May God bless you. The next one we'll talk about the right reasons to get married. And from us, it is goodbye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time.